In 1916, an explorer named Ernest Shackleton crossed a frozen island with two other men, fighting to survive after their ship was crushed by ice. Years later, he wrote something strange. He said that during the crossing, it seemed to him that they were four, not three. He never told the others what he felt, until one of them admitted he had felt exactly the same thing. A fourth presence walking beside them, silent, unseen, but somehow completely real. This was not a ghost story. It was the first recorded case of something scientists would later give a name to, third man syndrome. Since then, it has happened again and again. Mountain climbers stranded near the summit of Everest describe a companion who guided their next step when their own minds had gone blank with exhaustion. Sailors lost at sea for weeks report a second sailor beside them offering silent comfort, never speaking, never leaving. Survivors pulled from collapsed buildings recall a calm figure crouched beside them in the dark, waiting with them until rescue came. None of these people were asleep. None of them were hallucinating in the way we usually imagine. They knew on some level that no one else was physically there, and yet the presence felt undeniable. So what is actually happening inside a human brain at the edge of survival? When the body is starved of oxygen, warmth, food, or sleep, and the mind is under extreme threat, something remarkable takes place. The brain appears to split its own sense of self. One part keeps functioning, calculating the next handhold, the next breath, the next step forward. Another part seems to step outside, watching, guiding, reassuring. Researchers believe this may come from the brain's right hemisphere taking on a support role when the left hemisphere, exhausted and overwhelmed, can no longer manage alone. It is as if the mind creates a second voice from its own machinery, a companion built entirely out of neurons, appearing exactly when a person is most alone. This is not weakness. It may be one of the oldest survival tools we have. For most of human history, wandering too far from the group in a hostile landscape was a death sentence. A mind capable of manufacturing companionship, even an illusion of it, may have kept people moving, kept them calm, kept them from giving up when true isolation would have meant despair, and despair in the wild can be as deadly as the cold itself. Scientists studying extreme environments found the same patterns surfacing over and over in astronauts during long isolation, in soldiers under prolonged combat stress, in polar researchers spending months in permanent darkness. The presence rarely speaks in words. It simply exists beside the person, present, steady, watching over them. And almost every account shares the same detail. The moment real rescue arrives, the moment danger passes, the presence disappears completely as if its only purpose was to get them through. This raises an unsettling question. If the brain can build a companion this convincing purely from its own wiring, how much of what we call company, connection, even comfort, is something the mind is capable of generating entirely on its own when it decides survival depends on it? Perhaps you are never as alone as fear tells you that you are. Not because someone else is truly there, but because some deep ancient part of your own mind refuses to let you feel that way, even at the very edge of everything.